I'm in the Undercroft in Skyhold Keep, where we've had our blacksmith and Dagna craft a whole bunch of new armors and weapons and what do you call it? And rune stones for our weapons. Now, Dagna's been wanting to ask me a question.
You were there. I have to know what it was like. The colors, the smells, the magic. I'm sorry, it's just so exciting. You went into the Fade. If you have time, Inquisitor, do tell.
You seemed excited that I fell into the Fade at Adamant.
Excited? Spring gets me excited. This is a wonder. It's probably hard to relate, but dwarves don't dream. So I can't even guess what it's like. I can't even understand what dreams are. But you were there. And came back. Can I take a sample?
A sample?
Oh, that sounded sinister. I meant, can I cut a little piece off of you and do things to it? That didn't sound better, did it?
You're after something. What is it?
I don't even know. There's this feeling, you know? You don't know. But I will. Your people cleaned you up after your fall. I wonder if anything is left. So much to think about.
Dagna, you are funny. Alright, so we have, I've upgraded my staff as a new electricity staff. Not upgraded, I've gotten a new one. Now this staff was found out in the Temple of Razakale. Razakale's Reach is the area in Frostback Basin. And it is superior by quite a bit compared to my old staff. Unfortunately, my armor was not upgraded. We don't really have the schematic. At least, I don't appreciate how it looks. It just looks funny on me, the newer armor. It doesn't help that I'm so skinny. I mean, this is the way elves are. But as for the humans, well, Vivian really needed a armor upgrade because she gets in close with her abilities to fight. And Dorian had the probably about the best new mage armor. Probably should have gone to Vivian, but it looks good on Dorian, so we'll leave it like that. He had it dyed before, to his specifications, before I made up my mind on who's supposed to get it. I thought he was going to get it, and I had forgotten about Vivian and how she likes to get close with her abilities. So let's go to the Wartable, because there's so much to do, and Dagna has just given us something else to look for. What I want to do is travel back to the hinterlands, the western approach, and the Hissing Waste to grab the last of the... is there anything here? Last of the mosaics, but I'll have to chronicle that afterwards. It's not really something that I'm going to be it's not going to be too exciting showing this off to everybody, so... An appeal to the Shaperate. Though King Haramont of Orzammar rushes to ensure his tag's continued alliance with the Inquisition, he cannot grant Professor Kenrick access to the Orzammar Shaperate. He trusts we will be understanding. As a sign of continued friendship, he offers an improved selection of copies of Shaperate records to be presented to Professor Kenrick. Josephine. A note from Kenrick follows. The Shaperate's notes are incredible. I'd hoped for some mention of Irinia's parentage, but wait. I'm not complaining. A few documents is far more than I had before. Irinia met Ameridan while fighting demons in the Deep Roads, as history states. Since dwarves do not possess magic, Ameridan had come to learn ways in which non-mages could fight demons more effectively. Irinia was gifted in the field and had developed several unique methods. Apparently, Irinia did not get along with Ameridan's friend Heron at the time. It was quite a shock when she announced her departure from the tag. I'm surprised King Haramont sent the leaving bit, actually. Fascinating. There's not much more on Irinia. Although your commander may find some of the battle references of interest, I will see that they remain in Skyhold's possession. Professor Bram Kenrick, University of Orlais. Accept the report. I actually thought he'd be more forthcoming. Can't have everything, I suppose. I do believe that... This is... I do believe that Varric wants to search for the hack writer. Okay, so... I'm not sure who's the best to go on something else. I think maybe Liliana, because of her spying. A magistrate courier. He has to be involved in something else. Let's find out what. So,
let's see what we have.
Cultured exchange report ready. Dear Lady Montelier, Sigurd Gulsdotten was a delight, such a fresh perspective. True, the evening threatened to go poorly when the Avar mage and Magister Verixis bickered over the proper use of spirit bindings, but she brought down the house during a practical demonstration of spheric energy projections, both figuratively and very nearly literally, but quite invigorating. I cannot tell you how gratifying it was to see all the old goats from the Ferelden circles outdone by an Avar. We must have her back. Also, I believe Verixis had invited her to his summer villa. All the best, dear Countess Flesh. Okay, so let's see what's going on over in Orlais. Should have a report or two done. There's one down here. Draw out Red Templar Lieutenant. We have the name of the Red Templar Lieutenant who was dealing with Malefant and the Freeman, Carol. He is expected to be at the Lion's Pavilion 2 days from now. Do what is necessary to stop him, but for my sake, make it quick. I knew him once, a long time ago. Cullen. Where is he? Oh, where was he expected? That... Make contact, Emma Graves. Okay. I wish I wrote that down. Hissing Waste Resources. Continuing research. Red Jenny attends a party. The Hunter Shade Dracolisk? Exalted Plains Resources. Choose a successor in Lides. Alliances reaching ever upward. The Archives of Montfort. Investigate the strange chalk marking. Support from Navarra. Investigate Hunter Fell. What is that? Based on the revelation of Haven that Venatory operatives report to a darkspawn believed to be the Magister Corypheus, threat assessment of possible Venatory has been reprioritized as vital. Duke Tithus Pentagast rules the Navarran city of Hunter Fell, a former military hero who prided himself on his open-minded attitude. Duke Tithus rules with the help of a secret network of old adventuring companions and possible lovers, as they are all rumored to be beautiful women. Information on the 5 bellies of Hunter Fell is limited, but they are known to include humans from both Orlais and Ferelden, an Alpha Dwarf, and even a Tel Vashoth. Known or suspected backgrounds range from respected mortalacy or dragon hunter to bard, smuggler, or even apostate. We believe one of the 5 is that bellets? 5 bells. It's the It's the 5 bells of Hunterfell is a Venatory agent working to advance the agenda of Corypheus. Okay, that's pretty important. That would be more something that Liliana should handle. I have friends among the Templars. I might know more about this supposed apostate. Yeah, I think maybe Liliana can deal with that one. That's important. I'll have to remember that. What about support from Navarra? That may be something Josephine can deal with. A letter delivered to Skyhold. First, allow me to compliment the Inquisition's many victories on behalf of the Forsythia family. While Southern Thedas has been the worst of it, we recognize that recent tragedies concern us all. Your Inquisitor's work in sealing the rifts and stabilizing the South has lessened troubles here as well. These bloody shems, Forsythia. The Forsythia House would lend its support to the Inquisition. We would be happy to meet your representative to make it official. Tyrion Veneto, on behalf of Her Grace, Duchess Amalia. A missive from Josephine follows the letter. The Forsythias are one of the great noble houses in Navarra. While other noble families are divided between those who support the Pentagast line and those who would see new blood on the throne, the Forsythias have remained politically neutral. I doubt the Forsythias' offer is entirely altruistic. There are advantages to aligning with a powerful far-reaching institution. Nevertheless, accepting their support gives us allies in Navarra without making a significant political statement. That does seem exactly Josephine. Let's keep this something that she can deal with. Let's keep the visit friendly. A few representatives can discuss the form their support will take.
At your service.
Okay. An offer to help on their terms. What's this about? A letter on dark vellum with obviously dwarven markings. A hole in the surface is precious sky, not our concern, but the thing that did it. If this Magister shit really brought the Blight and the Darkspawn, we're no friend of that. Follow these instructions and you'll catch your enemy sleeping. Tell your soldiers not to leave the main tunnel. That's your only warning. Binthus, Warhelm, Kal Sharok. The letter ends with a map to a cave system and the number of troops that can pass. I think Cullen will have to deal with this. I think Liliana would be better, but Cullen can deal with this. They can have their secrecy, but we didn't know the threat on the other side of their passage. I'd send that even to a threat I'd send double that to even a threat of Venatori. Cullen, you can deal with that.
Inquisitor.
Okay, so there is still plenty to do. But the Emprise du Lion, I do believe we should go there. There's something that's important that we need to go there for. We broke through to Sahrania. The lead, Scout Harding, is with the vanguard sent to establish an Inquisition camp. Her earlier reports indicate that the red lyrium is spreading. Cullen. Okay. It's not important right away that I go there, but I will be back. We're going to go and travel to find these mosaic pieces. Now, I and my agents have done a lot of traveling to find the last pieces. The Hinterlands mosaic is up there. It is complete.
With turquoise.
And this one from the Hissing Waste is now complete. Now, let's ask Gatsu what they mean.
Shades of rose.
Careful.
Stone mad, Inquisitor.
Do you have insight into the stories these tiles are supposed to depict?
Here you go, Inquisitor. I wrote up some thoughts. Hope it adds to the effort.
Okay, so we have two. The Fall and Sacrifice. Mosaics. Okay. There's... I don't have it linked to... Okay, so Archdemon... So this... Freed are the slaves. There's cover... Wish it would say what area, what land we were in when we were looking at that. The Archdemon. Pieces of an old Tevinter mosaic are scattered across the western approach. Okay. Fall. Invasion. Across the Dales. Hinterlands. Western approach. We know about the western approach. Oh, freed of the slaves. So there's pieces of an old Tevinter mosaic are scattered across all of Thedas. If recovered, they could be reassembled. Oh yeah, that's a little crazy. Okay, so I need to find where in my notes that would be. Huh. Okay. Mosaics, I know that. Skyhold customization songs. I have to look through all my notes. This is what he had to give me. Mason's Tale of the Fall. This is for the mosaics in the Hinterlands. The Mason's Tale, the Fall. Now here's a happy study. The Fall, and a face that says, why did we try to go where there were no stairs? Because you go into an impossible building like that, you're coming out on fire, and then it will flip or something. I still do not see the appeal or dreams. So your 7 Magisters entered, and they came out blighted, not sure which way was up. I'll pass that off to the sculptor trying to represent madness. I mean, towers here, upended over there, you know what kind of force it would take to flip that much stone. It'd do more than burn your beard. Here's something interesting, though. You've got a hint of pigment and leaf causing some sheen, but there's meant to be more. All of these were painted and repainted at some point to match whatever Lord's 3 holer. But, holer? But there's a type of finishing that you can do, a very fine, time-consuming pass that evens the surface. Do it right, and you can get stone as smooth as glass, and that tower and beardy skull are meant to have it, and only a little is present on the others. So the first time this carving was wheeled out, it would have looked like Beardy was the target, so maybe he was first in the door, and then the light, it burns him and spreads to the others, and the polish or leaf would have caught light like a mirror and cause the viewer to squint. They'd have to look down or away, joining the Magisters in their punishment. Makes them feel part of it. That's what I figure anyway, and it would sure keep the children out of the feast hall. These are almost a waste of time. There's nothing really interesting other than the Mason's Tale. I guess I'll read this one, and then I don't think I'll be reading any others. From what I can figure, this one is called Sacrifice. I'll get back to that later by 2 sculptors, and I'll get back to that sooner. The sculptor's gone to the trouble of faces. I'd guess she worked from portraits, which means they were people who consider themselves important enough to need them. The scene is a classic example of don't do this because the sculptor hates them. It's in the way it's carved, all fast, hard edges, uglier than they need to be, even for your average Tevinter who, and this isn't just me, mine, stands like a lanky vein of lyrium. But don't mistake that for sloppy carving. It's natural, practice. The carver knows Tevinter, bet she is one, and it's self-hate, probably. And obvious enough, their skulls all over and too big and horned. That brings to mind your Canary, and fair enough, right? Tevinters hate Canary and have ever since they showed up. No magister wants his mouth contradicted, let alone stitched, so it makes sense that they're there, even that early, I suppose. Because this is probably that business of readying to invade the Fade. The giants with horns are a good motivator to sodding hurry up. Odd thing, though, is that those two are not the only Canary in the carving. The one in the middle was sculpted with horns, and someone has gone in later and chipped them off. You can tell by the surface of it. Well, maybe you can't, but I can. Seen it happen time and again. Tastes change, and the ancestors' nudes are suddenly embarrassing, so in comes a new hand to paint on some clothes, and here, judging by the marks, to cut away horns and make the victim look human. Some proud new owner didn't want to throw out the antiquity, but also didn't want people to think Grandma sliced up Canary. Looks like they didn't care if she kept their heads around, though. So, the carvers both wanted to show Tevinter being shits, but the later one didn't want to show what about, and that's usually to avoid blame or deny credit. Or to be an arse, I suppose. Interesting. It was referring to this one. There are Canary skulls here. I can see one. It's hard to see anything. Okay, there's a skull here. But the Canary skull here, you can see the horns. There's other skulls here. So was he referring to this one having it chipped off? I don't know. But this is a big Canary skull, the horns. So I think they meant that one. Okay. Anyways, let's go to the Wartable, and then we'll head out. We'll go out to a real place. We'll go out to Emprise du Lion. Liliana has reported in. Be nice to spend some alone quality time with Cassandra. I've been traveling around a lot recently just to get all these mosaic pieces. Not sure where he was. Hardened Hightown. Search for the hack writer. Report ready. Nightingale. Cammering is dead, fully armored, locked in an inner room in his home, a knife in his back. He knew someone was coming for him. Ironically, the scene was exactly the same as one in the first Hardened Hightown novel. Someone sent a professional after this magistrate. They had to leave a trail. Cooper. Is that the end of that? No. Okay. Copy Hardened Hightown sits open on the table. Javelin was waiting outside the captain's office when Donan Branokovic slunk out, defeated. We're not getting a warrant, are we? Javelin looked almost relieved. No, Donan met his partner's eye. The kid was barely 20 and looked like he'd walked straight to the Kirkwall barracks from somebody's potato farm. Taller and broader than the other guards, Javelin slouched as if he didn't know how to fit into his own limbs, as if he thought he should be smaller, hunched over in his brand new too large armor. He looked like a child playing at being a guard. He was too green for murder investigation. Maybe it's for the best, Javelin said, almost speaking Donan's thought out loud. You're on your way out of the guard, and I'm... He trailed off, then sighed. Questioning nobles in the middle of the night wasn't covered in training. Donan glared at the kid. I'm a city guard, and so are you, recruit.
Any Venatori activity?
If my agents find anything, you will be the first to know.
Nobody gets away with murder while we're on duty. Javelin stood a little straighter. What do we do, then? The captain wants proof, Donan smiled. We bring her proof. Liliana has written a note in the margin. The dead magistrate attempted to implicate Varric. Why? And in what? If an assassin killed the magistrate, a word to the crows might tell us who it was. They watch rivals carefully.
Inquisitor.
Let us go to Emprise du Lion. Okay, so Dorian, Cole, and Cassandra we had all throughout the Frostback Basin. I think bringing the Iron Bowl, Vivian, and well, maybe Sarah this time. She has her new bow. Very, very powerful bow too. We'll have to meet with Scout Harding. She'll explain what's going on with this area.
Inquisitor.
Scout Harding.
We're on the outskirts of Sarnia. This is what's left of the town. The lucky ones got out before the river froze over. The rest, penned in by Fade Rifts and Red Templars. We're the first friendly face they've seen in a long, long while.
How did an entire river freeze so quickly?
It got really cold, really quickly. Sarnia relies on its river for everything. Trade, food. They weren't expecting this.
I should look in on the townsfolk. See what they can tell me.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it. The Red Templars have been mounting frequent attacks. They want Emprise du Lion. Bad. Let's get out there and take it back from them.
Okay, new area. Sounds like we have a lot of work to do. There's a book somebody left. Marcher misconceptions. My dear Empress Celine, I agree. It is strange how some people view the Free Marches. On a map, they see it as a name emblazoned on the vales south of the Minotaur River and assume it to be a nation just as Ferelden is. They imagine a single ruler, a single army, and a common culture, but nothing could be further from the truth. Our dour, serious folk in Tantervale are not at all like the wild revelers of Wycombe, who in turn are nothing like the self-important traders of Kirkwall. We are many nations squashed under one name on a map because the truth won't fit inside the borders. A lovely saying I heard once. We have a prince in Starkhaven, a margrave in Asburg, a turn in Ostwick, and a viscount in Kirkwall. Yet we accept no king in the Free Marches, at least not since Pyrrhus appointed himself king 7 centuries ago, which was immediately and unanimously opposed by our many great nations. We may only come together to face a common enemy, but when we do, we're a formidable ragtag bunch. Did you know that Grey Warden Garahale also united us during the Exalted Age? We marched together proudly to defeat the Darkspawn at Aisley, and immediately afterwards returned to our petty bickering. The most important thing to know about the Free Marches is that we're free, we determine our own destiny, and that pleases us. Beyond that, the only other time we coalesce is when Grand Tourney comes to town. Then we boldly express our pride to any foreigner who will listen. We'll kiss freedom on the lips and even lock arms with the proud Starkhavener. Alas, it lasts only a day, but there's no harm in that, right? A letter written by Lord Chancellor Joffrey Ulrich of Tantervale to Empress Celine, first 929 Dragon. It was only some 12 years ago.
Dispatch for you.
Report.
What is it?
This could help us.
They want 10 Silverite and 20 Dawnstone. I've never heard of Dawnstone before. There's a lot of places to explore. I'm sure there'll be a dozen Fade Rifts to close here too. An active Fade Rift has been spotted on Elfsblood River just outside of Serena. Oh, Blackwall wanted us any more memories of the Grey. Okay, so take pass, Red Templars. The Red Templars have occupied the Emprise du Lion. Advance into the region's heart to learn why. It's down here. Cullen has learned the Templar is primary source of red lyrium. Ah, this is why I wanted to go here. Yes, this is their primary source of red lyrium. This is, we must destroy it. Varric needs to be with us for some of that, and yeah, Blackwall needs to come with us. All right, so we will get things organized and head out then.